Have you Dragnet? Remember that movie?
Yes, my mobile's off.
Dragnet?
Okay.
So it's
Ready?
like, it's not even liquid.
Yeah, it's all...
We're ready to commence.
This probably is all
Hey,
done.
hey!
Wait,
Oh, sorry.
attention. Thanks for doing this interview for Europe.
No problem.
Saw you last night at the Ballroom. It was a very hot and sweaty gig. And you introduced these new stage personas, Daniel. So, Wild Spice, Sporty Spice, and Posh Spice. Spice Girls.
Just basically, we thought in order to make more money, we'd market ourselves as like a boy group, or you know, one of them teen idol groups like the Spice Girls and like all them boy bands. They all have different images, so they could appeal to different markets. So yeah, we decided to. We're only joking though. We're not serious. We hate that.
You'd have a problem if you were Posh Spice because you know pregnancy.
Oh well. Yeah, I've only been pregnant once, so I didn't like it.
Now, you know, playing there last night, it was a very hot and sweaty gig. I mean, everybody really got into it. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Back here.
I had a good gig. I thought we've only done 3 live shows so far with all the new stuff, so I thought we got a pretty good reaction from the audience with new songs.
I mean, the audience is very young as well. I mean, I felt quite old being there last night. I mean, the average age was sort of about 15, 16. Are you pleased that you've got that real sort of hardcore young audience that come to see, that are into the band and also into a lot of the things that you guys are into, surfing, skateboarding, the whole scene?
It's good that there's like whenever we play in London or Europe, we've got a pretty loyal fan base, and they get into it. They're not too cool to move. They don't stand there and analyse everything you do. They just get taken away with the music, and that's what we like.
I mean, someone said last night that they saw quite a lot of, you know, adolescent young males there, but there were also quite a few girls there. They were screaming at you, and quite a few of the things they were saying, well, a bit fresh, to say the least. Do you sort of like think of yourselves as this sex object in a way when you're performing on stage? So they're definitely calling out for you.
Yeah, I think we're definitely a sex object. I'm just joking. No, as if we're sex objects. We're all nothing like it. Look at Ben, look at Chris, and look at me. We're not sex objects. We're just these little Australian
We're
guys.
thugs.
Yeah,
We're Australian thugs.
yeah. We play
Robbers.
music. We're not sex objects at all, except to French ladies that are in the over 50 bracket.
I mean, you've been doing this now for about 6 or 7 years, and when you started off, you were still at school, and you know you've obviously gone past that stage now. You're now in your late teens. How has fame changed you and affected you? I mean, you're on album number 3 now. Did you think it would have such an impact on your lifestyles, or has it really changed you? Do you still feel you're the same as you were when you first started out at Silverchair?
I think everyone changes as they get older. It was weird because at the time when we first appeared in the media and stuff like that, and started appearing in magazines and things, we were still 14 years old, so we've kind of grown up and people have watched the progression. So it's been a little bit weird because we've changed naturally, not because of fame, just because that's what you do when you're between the ages of 14 and 20 years old. I think you change quite a bit. So yeah, I don't think it's really changed us as people. We're still the same people, but people have seen the more dramatic changes because we've been in the magazines and stuff.
I mean, Ben, you know, Frogstomp was such a huge album in America. Were you surprised by the sort of impact on the American market? Because, you know, obviously, you know, you were number one in Australia, but, you know, when it took off in America, did that take you by surprise?
Ben?
Ben, he asked you.
Oh, who's talking to you though?
No.
Who's talking to
No.
us?
Yeah, we were very surprised when the album did so well in America. But I mean, that's not to say that we weren't very pleased with how it went. And yeah, and it was good to be able to go over there as well and play to enthusiastic crowds, and it was really good. It's been really fun.
Because Daniel, MTV in the States, almost like, you know, took you into their hearts. You did the Video Music Awards and sort of the buildings out there. The whole sort of like that culture, did it take you by surprise though? That you were these young lads and you were put into the spotlight.
Yeah.
You became these media superstars almost overnight.
Yeah, all we were doing was playing music that we liked playing. It was really the only reason we did it was because it was a good, like any, people start skateboarding or surfing or whatever they do, it's usually just because it's their way of expressing themselves and their way of, it's their form of liberation. They feel free when they're doing what they believe in. So we were doing that with music, and then all of a sudden we were playing on rooftops and being televised. So we didn't see it as being negative, it was very overwhelming, I think.
And Chris, album number 2 came out, which is Freak Show, and then things went a little bit quiet. So how have you approached the recording and the release of this album? Was there sort of like, I'm going to take a bit of time off here? Because we've been doing so much touring and all this kind of stuff. How did you approach it?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of discussion through the end of Freak Show touring that we should take a large chunk of time just to relax and, I suppose, get the taste for touring and making music again. So, I mean, we did take a fair bit of time off, but Daniel was writing for a large time of that as well. So, I think if we'd gone straight into the studio again and done a third record, I don't think it would have been as, as productive and vibrant as what this one is.
So where does the title come from then?
The title?
Yeah.
I just thought, we all thought it would be a good idea to have a title which represented the musical style on the album. And Neon just represented the more futuristic sounds on the album, and Ballroom was more a representation of the traditional orchestral sounds. Just combined the two. Just thought it sounded good.
Because in effect last night you also played a Neon Ballroom because you had all the neon lights around the electrical
Yeah.
stuff and the drum kit as well now, like
Yeah.
Silverchair. I mean, last night, that gig when the new material went down, for the first time, a lot of people were just hearing things like Anthem for the year 2000, but you seemed to have, get the audience in your hands. Were you pleased with the way that stuff was received?
Yeah, we did a warm-up show in Newcastle about...
Sorry, do you want to do that on through again?
Okay. We did a warm-up show in Newcastle probably about 6 weeks ago, and that was the first time we'd played for 14 months. And the new songs went down really well there, but at the time I thought it was probably because the majority of the crowd was, friends and people that we'd invited because it was just an undercover show. But then we played a festival and the new songs went down well, so we were keen to see how it would go down overseas. And it went really well, so we were very happy with it.
Because, Chris, you've got a lot more diverse musical influences on this album as well. You worked with an orchestra for the first time, but also, you worked with David Helfgott as well. How did his death sort of affect the band?
Chris?
How did what affect Ben?
His passing affect the band?
Who?
David Helfgott. Yeah. Well, I suppose it was just a thought to begin with, and then everyone started to realise how well his kind of piano style would suit. So, it was quite an experience actually getting him in there. I thought myself I was going to be quite uncomfortable, but really it was very easygoing. There wasn't any real drama. It wasn't like it was a huge thing. It was just he was coming in and playing his thing, and it was a good vibe.
Did you say how does his death affect?
No, it's passing through. The fact
Oh.
no.
I was like, I didn't know he died. Okay, cool. I thought you said he died.
No, because it was evident if you have a look at the EPK, I think it's the guy that I watched today briefly. He was sort of like going and kissing.
Yeah.
He was very affectionate towards people.
Because you come across as quite like a macho band, and I just want to know how you sort of dealt with that kind of thing, because you were dealing with someone who's completely unconnected with what you do.
Yeah, I don't think we're a macho band. I think
Come on,
people
John,
just
be
have.
honest.
Oh, well, I'm definitely a lot more masculine than the other two, but we just play music, and just because it's angry doesn't mean that it's macho. It's just because we were angry at certain groups and subcultures on the first two albums. But I don't think we're a macho band, so we're always open to playing different styles of music.
I mean, you know, do you still think you're an angry young man?
Yeah, but it's not. It's more directed at a smaller group now rather than everyone. The first two albums were just feelings towards, just about feeling alienated, and the third album's more about just looking into yourself. And when there is anger, it's much more pinpointed.
Because there seems to be a lot of anger directed at a particular Australian political figure in the new video for the single.
Yeah, that was directed at a political party called One Nation, and they're trying to restrict young people from their liberation and trying to impose new laws on young people which would prevent them being out on the street past certain times at night. And it's just basically about the youth standing up for their rights.
Because we had the same thing over here in Europe, especially in the UK, the criminal justice bill. Well, now it's very difficult to hold rave parties and things like that. Do you think that by the actions in this video, you are speaking for the youth of Australia in a way?
I wouldn't say we're like spokespeople for the youth of Australia. It was just my way of expressing my feelings towards that certain group of people. I know there's a lot of people that agree with it, but it wasn't written to be, speaking on behalf of Australian young people or young people in general. Just my opinion of, my view of a certain issue.
Now, I have it on good authority by a huge fan of a show called Prison Cell Block H. You've got someone in the video called The Freak. So how did you persuade her to...
I think it was just another one of those things that was quite a bit of a thought, really, and no one ever really took it serious until, someone went, that could really happen. So, I mean, we actually met her and had a bit of a chat. She was really quite a funny lady. So, I mean, the part that she plays is more of like a make-believe person, but it's a good little twist to the video clip.
Who directed the clip? Just the final question on that.
It was a guy called Gavin, I think it was Bowden or Bowden. Yeah.
I mean, just talking about the album again, how would you compare it to Frogstop, the Freak Show? Is it sort of like, do you think it shows the band's maturity?
Yeah, I think the first two albums were, because we were still in school, they were never really the main focus of our attention. I think they were kind of, music was more like a part-time job, even though we really felt it and we were very close to it and we really liked what we were doing. I always knew it was leading to something a lot bigger and a lot better, even though I still like the first two albums now and I listen to them, but I knew then and I know now that it was leading to something a lot better. And I think now that we left school, we really had time just to focus on creating something that was really, really good and creatively satisfying.
I mean, they say the third album, in some bands' instances, is the best thing they've done to date. Do you feel that this is the best thing you've done to date? That in previous albums, you recorded them really quickly, while this one it took a lot more longer, and you also put a lot more thought into it. From you talk about having a symphony orchestra working with the pianist.
Yeah, I think it's our best record, but it really depends what you're going for. I know a lot of people will like our other two records more because a lot of people like more traditional hard rock music, but hopefully people will like and appreciate this as well. If not, it doesn't matter. We're still happy with what we've done.
I mean, you talked about marketing yourselves there, jokingly about being a boy band, like a pop band. But over here in Europe, over the past year, we've seen the charts over here completely saturate pop. I mean, we've had, number one 15-year-old girl. Backstreet Boys is huge over here. You've got another artist who's just breaking from America, Britney Britney Spears. It's been pop, 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 pop. But the tide could be turning because you've had the Offspring with the number one single across Europe this year. Blondie are back at number one in the UK this week. So do you think the time is right for rock music to return?
Yeah, I
Or
think.
hasn't really gone away?
I think there was a time when we released Freak Show. It was a time when everyone was saying rock music was dead, and people still think it. There's some people that live in a nightclub reality that can't handle the sound of a guitar because it doesn't have the right frequencies and it freaks them out on ecstasy or whatever. But I think the time's always right for rock music. I think it's just good to. With the first album, we were lucky to release an album which was a style of music which was incredibly popular at that time. And with Freak Show, we even though it was a better album, it didn't sell as much because that was at the time when, you know, dance music was getting really big and everyone was saying rock music was dead. But this album, it's all pop orientated, and I think a lot of people want to hear some real music again. Or music with passion that's not just marketed and made to make money.
I mean, do you think this is a very personal album?
Yeah, it's a lot more personal than the last two. As I said before, it's more directed at feelings for myself rather than at feelings for other people.
Lisa, can we just see if we can turn around music on this
No,
week?
because it's all the presidents of Sony worldwide in there.
Okay.
Not much chance of that.
Just why don't you, I mean, they won't play, they're probably just playing it and they'll talk about it for 3 hours, so if you want to wait another minute.
What is it? Who is it?
I can't tell
Fuck it.
American.
Let's huge.
They're just running up.
Yeah.
Hold on. A couple of sets of movement speed. And yeah, speed.
Okay. I mean, one of the big markets for you has always been America, and our colleagues in the States wanted me to ask you just a couple of things about that. So you're looking forward to going back over there again and touring this album? Because, you know, it is more diverse this time, so you are going to get American radio stations playing you a lot more. I know they've supported you in the past, but there's certain tracks on the album, when you listen to it, you think, oh, that's probably Silverchair.
Yeah, I think that was good to totally approach music differently this time around because we were sick of playing the same traditional hard rock music, and we wanted to, well, I wanted the music to be unpredictable and I wanted it to be lyrically unpredictable and focus on issues which people wouldn't expect Silverchair to be focusing on. So we were told it was a bit risky because monotony is the best way to success. Keep doing the same thing and eventually it gets drilled into people's heads, but we got sick of it, so we're just going to do what we want to do, and if MTV or radio stations play it, that's a bonus.
I mean, the whole sort of like touring concept of America, you really have to work yourselves out there because it's such a huge place. Do you enjoy that? You know, because I mean, a tour out there can take something between 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, we don't. A lot of people say that, well, we don't tour on as large a scale as what a lot of other bands do. Like, we'd probably do 4 or 5 weeks in the States and just do as many shows as we can, like 3 shows on, 1 night off, 2 shows on, that kind of thing. And I suppose it's just the way that we've done it, and since the beginning, I suppose, so that's what we're used to. I think if in our circumstances, if we went out for like 3 or 4 months in America, just in America alone, we'd probably just go nuts and not enjoy it anymore, sort of thing.
I mean, when you take this out there this time, what kind of reaction do you think you're going to get from sort of like the hardcore audience? Do you think they're going to like this album?
I think they will. Well, I hope they do, because I suppose there's a lot more diversity, and I suppose a lot more. I suppose there's a lot more interesting points to it this time to listen to. So I suppose it's one of those kind of. There's a few songs on there that you have to listen to a couple of times to really, I don't know, just get the full impact of it all. So I suppose reproducing it live will be quite dramatic in live shows.
I mean, I'm looking at sort of like, you know, the whole festival lineup for this year, and one of the obvious festivals that you guys will do on something like the Ozfest Have you been approached? Has anybody asked you if you'd like to be in the lineup?
Ozzy Osbourne came to one of our shows.
Second single.
Second single. Okay. I want to go. Ozzy Osbourne came to one of your shows.
Okay, yeah, Ozzy Osbourne came to one of our shows in LA and actually offered us the Ozfest tour, but it was during our last year of school, so we couldn't do it. But at that time, I think it would have been an appropriate festival, but with this album, I really don't think the new material would really go down too well with more metal fans. I think the older stuff would appeal to them a lot more, with the exception of 3 or 4 songs off the new one. But I don't know whether we'd do it or not. We'd definitely think about it because Ozzy Osbourne's God.
Would you say he's been an influence on the band?
Yeah, from his Black Sabbath era and all that kind of stuff, definitely, yeah.
Any other bands that have recently sort of like, taken you, by surprise, or you want to say, yeah, I've really enjoyed that and made you quite curious, or any sort of like bands that you're into?
Yeah, most bands that I listen to are like early 80s hardcore music. So recently there's only been a few things that I've really liked, like the new PJ Harvey album's really good. Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not much good music out there, but I haven't really gone on a search for a while. But yeah, we all listen to pretty much different styles of music, or opposite.
I mean, were you ever into, a band called the Saints?
The Saints?
Yeah, they were an Australian punk band.
I was never really into them, but I've got one of their records. I'm not so much into punk music. I'm more into hardcore, more the straight edge scene stuff, even though I'm not straight edge.
I've heard of the All Saints.
Yeah, the All Saints.
Yeah, the All Saints.
No, I mean, you could have been easily the All Saints last night.
Well, yeah, the All Saints are really good though. See, the good thing is they appeal to so many people, but they've still managed to keep a certain level of credibility because they've covered Red Hot Chili Peppers songs. It's all about cred.
Tomorrow, if they turn around and say, well, we want to, cover Freak.
They're going to cover Freak.
What would you do?
And would they be asking for our permission or just telling us?
I'm just telling you, sort of like, what do you think of that? Do you think it's a great privilege for the All Saints to do it?
I'd make it clear to everyone that we didn't approve it, but I'd be quite happy with the royalty checks. Yeah, okay,
So at the end
cool.
of the day, it's all about money then.
No, I would make it clear to everyone that we did not approve it. If they asked us and said, can we, I would say, no, you can't. But if they just went ahead and did it, I would just say, make everyone know that we never approved it, but I'd still take the money. It's not all about money, but it's good.
There are a lot of young bands out there who are obviously, starting out and on their third album now. What advice have you got to them on how to cope with the pressure of the music scene? Because you're quite experienced in it now, even though you've been using like 19, 20.
I don't know. A lot of people ask that question. I find it quite hard to answer, really. I mean, what advice? I don't know. Just kind of be yourself, and I suppose it's that's probably the easiest thing to do. I don't know. Things just kind of happen.
I think the best thing to do is not take any shit off anyone. Like if anyone kind of burns you and say, yeah, you're not a very good band and stuff like that, you just ignore them and keep
It's all
doing
about bombs, really.
About what?
Bombs?
Bombs.
Yeah. People who have ridiculed us in the past have regretted it because their buildings have gone down and stuff like that, but that doesn't happen anymore just because we're a pretty feared group. As you said, we're pretty macho, so...
Well, talking about anthems for the year 2000, any plans for the year 2000?
Yeah, no.
No. So we can be doing on New Year's Eve 1999. Has anyone sort of said, guys, we want you to play middle of Sydney Harbour at the Opera House, huge gig?
Yeah, we want to.
Yeah.
We want to do something special for the year 2000.
Spectacular.
Yeah. We want it to be a memorable Australian rock event.
Maybe set up a special neon ball or something.
Yeah, we'll just make a huge mirror ball and hang it from Sydney Harbour Bridge. play on a yacht.
There's a couple of other questions I want to ask you. First of all, this one is from the record company.
Oh, Lisa.
No, we're doing some sort of like packages and features for other things. First one we're doing is Valentine's Day. You obviously know what Valentine's Day is.
What's that?
What?
It's where...
No, we know.
You know what it is. Well, it's next week. It's being celebrated.
Yep.
And I want to ask you, Daniel, what is the perfect romantic night in for you, or romantic night out with the lady of your dreams?
You're asking the wrong person. I'd be better directed at Ben or Chris, I think.
Well, if you can give me your responses, then
I don't know. What do you reckon?
I don't know, it depends on, it's up to the individual, I suppose. There's a lot of people that would go for the candlelit dinner, or maybe just a nice romantic moonlight picnic or something like that. There's lots of different things.
Anything like that's nice on Valentine's Day. Like, as much as like there's probably some macho guys watching this going, oh, it's so uncool, man. Like, it's if you there's someone special in your life, I think it's nice to go out and do that kind of thing. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of guys watching this now going, oh, that guy's the biggest loser, he's so uncool. But yeah, I think it's cool.
That's what I'd be doing if I was watching it.
Shut up.
We're just going to be doing a package on sort of like, you know, the pressures of fame. Do you think you're famous now?
Do I think I'm famous?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. It depends what fame is. Like, when you compare us to the Spice Girls or something, we're definitely not famous, but we've achieved a certain level of success. I wouldn't call it fame though. I don't think we're famous. I don't think we're stars. I think we just play in a band, do what we've always done, but more people are hearing it these days.
I mean, do you find it difficult sometimes that people know you, yet you don't know them? Because that's
Yeah.
one of the things where everyone will know your names. That's Daniel from Silverchair. And they say, hi Daniel, do you find it difficult with it sometimes, you know, sort of say, oh, how you doing?
Yeah, I have a hard time adjusting sometimes when people approach me on the street or whatever. They just stand there like, hi. I'm like, hi. And they expect me to you know, start a conversation. I don't know anything about them. They think because they know everything about me
How's the weather?
Yeah, I usually ask about the weather. But it's when they expect you to know as much as they know about you, that's when it's difficult, because they expect you to start conversations and be Mr. Nice Guy. It's pretty hard to be nice to someone that comes up to you, says hi, and then stands there and annoys you. You just go, what? Not saying all people that approach me are annoying, but when they just stand there with nothing to say and expect you to start conversations, it puts you in an uncomfortable predicament, I think.
Okay. The next single of the album, any choices yet? Decided? Future single?
It's possibly Anna's song.
Why that particular song?
Just because with Anthem for the Year 2000, it's probably the closest thing on this album to songs off Freak Show or Frog Stomp, but it still shows the growth musically and lyrically. With Anna's song, it's more a cross between, you know, Anthem for the Year 2000 and the more experimental stuff on the album. So it's kind of leading people into the new material rather than just throwing it in their face and alienating everyone.
Now, it'd be fair to say on this tour, you're going out as men instead of boys. So what are you going to get up to? Because there are a few stories, you know, obviously I've heard that you now trash hotel rooms and...
Oh, we're big on that.
Yeah.
Telly's out the window.
And watch the pay TV channels and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
We pretty much do lots of rock and roll stuff.
Yeah.
The other day we were in a hotel and we flicked onto a porn channel and we watched the whole thing. It was really wild. And then we were going down an elevator and we poured kerosene all over the floor and lit it while we were in the elevator, just like burnt ourselves. That was pretty crazy.
Just trying to be rock, really.
Just, yeah, basically doing anything for publicity.
Cool. Now, the next thing is idents. Are we okay to do these, Lisa?
I'll just say my name and my Silverchair, eh?
Can I say the end?
Okay.
Cool!
Now, this guarantees a video play. So, First one is for a show called Select MTV, and it's if you ID
Select?
yourselves, Select MTV. So
Oh, don't worry, we're pros. We know what we're doing.
Silverchair, and you're watching Select MTV, and here's the video
Be
for the new
sexy.
single.
Be sexy.
Be sexy.
This one be sexy.
How's it going? Okay, so we're just going to do the usual routine.
Usual.
Okay, ready? Hi, I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris,
And I'm Ben, and we're from Silverchair.
and you're watching Select on MTV, and here's our new single, Anthem for the Year 2000.
You're supposed to say that you said our new single, then they could use it like all the time.
No,
I
don't.
can cut that off,
Now, if
but
you can do it on your single as well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll do both. It's all right. You're doing all right.
it's got to get them titles,
Shut
you
up.
dickhead.
It's Select MTV.
All right,
Hello, I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris,
And I'm Ben, and we're Silverchair.
and you're watching Select MTV, and here's our new film clip.
Okay. Right. First one is this one is for a new show that's happening in MTV UK, and it's called New Music Week. So it's hi, we're Silverchair. You're watching New Music Week on MTV in the UK and Ireland.
UK and Ireland.
Yeah.
What is it? MTV Newsweek.
You're watching New Music Week on
New
MTV
Music Week.
in the UK and Ireland.
New Music Week on
Ooh,
MTV.
that's a big one. In UK. I'll say in UK and Ireland. There we go. Soften the blow.
You're watching New Year's Week.
on
New
MTV.
Music Week.
New Music Week.
Yep.
We can't exceed 2 syllables. Okay, ready? Hi, I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris,
And I'm Ben, and we're Silverchair.
and you're watching New Music Week on MTV.
In UK and Ireland.
Yeah.
Next one is
First time.
for Germany, and it's ID yourselves, and you're watching Live Aus Berlin.
Live House.
House.
Aus Berlin.
House.
Live
Glad I'm not
Aus
saying that one. Okay, ready? Do you want to do a new formula? Or we'll go
Oh,
this
I can
way,
start
maybe?
first, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Ben,
I'm Chris,
I'm Daniel.
and we're Silverchair.
and you're watching Live House on MTV Berlin.
That's Live Aus Berlin.
Live
Idiot.
House Berlin. Hey,
Oh,
you
that
do
was
it.
good though.
I'm not doing it, Bags. No.
No, bags up.
No, you can't. You forced him to say bags, not that leaves you.
No, I'm not doing it.
You do it. You're the pro.
Yeah.
Ready?
Well, don't bag me,
Loser.
man, otherwise I'm going to get upset. I'm not going to
Just
do
shut
it.
up and do it. Just do it, you fucking knob.
Hi, I'm Ben,
I'm Chris,
I'm Daniel.
and we're Silverchair.
and you're watching Live House Berlin.
Okay.
Don't say a
I
word.
didn't fucking say where you
Next
I'll
one
get
is
upset.
for the Italian channel, and they have a weekly news show called The Week in Rock, and it's presented by this girl called Alessandra. So you want to say hi, we're at Silverchair, and you're watching The Week in Rock with Alessandra.
Yep.
And if you want to add something about Alessandra,
She's sexy.
She's very sexy. She looks like a little version of Mariah Carey, but not
Cool.
Mariah Carey.
Why don't you say sexy or...
With class.
Very class.
Come on. You
Excellent.
You say it.
Why hasn't Mariah
What?
got class?
Well, stop telling me.
She's
this.
pretty
Oh, you
classy
shut
when
the
she's
fuck
on
up.
the
You say
motorbike
Ben
with that
or
black
something.
guy like facing him.
Why
That
don't you
looked
say
pretty
it?
sexy.
You're the one that wants to say it.
Oi,
You're too
morons!
scared,
You
you faggot.
ready?
Shut up.
Yeah. So name of the show is Week in Rock. Presenter is Alessandra.
Weekend Rock or Week In?
Week in Rock.
In.
In.
Week in Rock.
Alessandra.
Alessandra.
Andra.
She's a babe.
Okay.
Ready? Hi, I'm Ben,
I'm Chris,
And I'm Daniel.
and we're Silverchair.
and you're watching Week in Rock with Alessandra.
The sexy one.
Okay.
That'll get ratings.
You
Yeah, you fucking did
And
eh?
very final
could
one
have said it.
is,
Soft.
Shut up, you morons!
He's such a
very
weak.
final one is for MTV UK, and that's for the video request show Select. And all you have to do is say, "Hello Donna, we're Silverchair. Can you please play our video on Select MTV?"
I think you should say hi, Donna, all together.
Hi Donna.
In harmony?
Have you seen
Hi,
Donna?
hi,
She's so bad.
Donna.
Have you seen Donna before you talk to her?
Maybe we could do it like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, Donna.
Like Backstreet Boys.
That's cool.
No, we're not going to do that. That would be bizarre.
What is it? It's Select, is it? But request.
Select MTV, and can you please play our video?
Okay.
So hi Donna. Hi Donna, we're Silverchair.
And
You're watching Select MTV.
and can you please?
Can you please play a video?
Okay.
You're saying that, Ben?
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm fucking not.
You're such a soft. You haven't said anything but your name, you dumb
Yeah.
moron.
What have you said?
No, I did the interview, Mong.
What?
Just do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
Alright, shit.
I'll say the bit before it. What's the bit before it?
You're watching Select.
Okay, I'll say you're watching Select MTV.
And what was the name again? Donna.
See, you fucking never come to a compromise, you mong.
Shut
You
the
ready?
fuck up.
Go for it. Hang on, what have I got to say?
Yeah, what are we
You're
doing?
watching
What are we
Select
doing?
Select
We're
MTV.
Silverchair and you're watching Select MTV. It's Hi Donna, we're Silverchair, you're watching Select MTV, and can you please play our video?
Okay.
So it's a sort of
1, 2, 3. Hi,
Hi,
Donna.
Donna.
We're Silverchair. You're watching. What am I
Select
saying?
MTV.
Select MTV.
Please play our video.
Woo, this is going to be really good. I think you're going to really like it.
Ready?
Oh, we're always bad at this. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Hi,
Donna.
We're Silverchair.
You're watching Select MTV.
And can you please play our video? That was a very pleading voice, wasn't it?
That was pleading.
It was more, you want a bit more plead there.